How are you doing?
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Well, very well. A little haggard. I'm trying to do too many things like most people. So, but otherwise, I'm well. Thank you.
Well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. So, Clayton, I would love to get to know you as a person. Just before we get into the whole trading bit, I mean, what's your day job if you currently do work or if you're a full-time trader?
I am in the commodities trading risk management sector, but specifically around the enterprise-wide software that helps global commodities firms manage, enter and manage their trades, their risk, their logistics, their documentations, and now in-stream of the price feeds, downstream to SAPs, other others. So that's been my career for nearly 30 years now,
Wow.
and looking to hopefully retire soon. I've always been jealous of the traders in those spaces and wanted to do it myself, but I've been doing it on my own, but not getting employed, not paid for.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And it sounds like you're almost, it's a very fitting career, and then to move into trading as well is almost perfect for you because, as we know, risk management as a whole is a huge factor of trading. Did you find that when you
Well,
got
I
into
actually made
trading?
my first futures trade. I actually made my first futures trade at 17 years old
No
in
way.
1982.
Wow.
Yeah, my grandfather retired as an engineer and put a satellite dish up and was getting data feeds from Chicago Board of Trade. And
Wow.
I would sit there and we'd watch the tick go every 30 seconds. Would see a new tick.
That's
And
incredible.
he opened up the account for me. I made my first trade way back in 1982. So I've traded futures and stocks since then. And I started trading options in 2000. And I did my first little dabble in Forex about 10 or 15 years ago. I didn't play long. So I was like, okay, don't know enough about this. And I think I blew $500. So it's like, okay, lesson learned. And I've never come back to it until now. And my idea now is to hopefully retire soon. I mean, prove to my wife that uh, I can still make a decent income stream
Yeah.
by trading in so I can retire. Well,
Sure.
I'm fortunate enough to make a very good living, but that income stream was really nice. I want to at least get close to getting to that. So I've been prop farming with futures, but that's just a fund and account that income stream account. I've got a retirement account, so I actually help manage it friends, several friends' accounts. So
Wow.
been trading actively forever. Futures, equity options, and futures options. So I'm
Yeah.
dabbling in Forex, using you guys to kind of hone my skills, but with the idea that I'm going to let my own Forex accounts that turn.
Absolutely. Did you find that the switch between futures to forex was difficult, or are you finding it
Oh,
a bit more easier since you have that
well,
experience?
market, yeah, markets are kind of markets, right?
Yeah.
Ticks are ticks and pips are pips or whatever. But the fundamentals underlying the pairs versus a futures contract
Yeah.
are different that I'm learning. So I think we all know that fundamentals on Forex has to deal with money supply, interest rates, on the the soundness of governments, et cetera, when you're comparing the two. So they don't move anywhere like or similarly to a commodities future market or an
Yeah.
index future. So they're
Absolutely.
different in that way. But you will still see major trends,
Hmm.
and you can still see the same kind of patterns that you can trade. And that's at least what I'm trying to develop. Is I'm still developing some strategies, but it's pretty basic right now.
Yeah. No, that sounds
Yeah.
fantastic. And I got to ask, the first trade you ever took when you were 17, do you remember if it was a good trade?
Yeah, it was a crude oil trade.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a crude oil trade. I made about, I don't know, I don't remember exactly, a couple $100. I had
For
20-cent mover,
back then,
25-cent movers. Like,
that would have been quite a substantial trade then.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And how come you took a break? I guess from the sounds of it, and correct me if I'm wrong. You at 17, you obviously did your first futures trade, but then there must have
Yeah.
been like a big gap where you weren't really trading. Um, And now
Yeah,
it sounds
yeah.
like you've kind
Well,
of come back to it.
I was in the United States Marine Corps for 8 years.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
took a little journey. I was a little, I was, I was fortunate enough to be a pretty bright kid,
Yeah.
but I lost my dad when I was young and it kind of went off the rails.
Yeah.
And after a couple of years of majoring in partying in college, I decided I needed a bit of kicking the ass. And so I joined them. I didn't get out until the mid 90s and then finished school and then wound up in the commodity trading business around in the vendor space.
Yeah. What's
So
interesting
that's the
is
Reader's Digest version of how I got here.
what's really interesting is I've noticed people who've had military careers or at some point been in the military, they do actually very well with trading, and I think that's probably down to the discipline that the military probably teaches you. Do you feel
Think,
that being in the
but
Marine or having been in the Marine
yeah,
Corps, that the discipline you learn has kind of carried over into trading as well?
without a doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
that's amazing.
Um, my discipline begins with I get up at 4 a.m. every day. I spend my first 3 hours a day marking my charts, not just Forex. I'm marking the futures charts. I'm making a plan on what, if any, options trades going to be making. Do I need to roll some options? Do I let this equity get called away? Because, like I said, I mentioned it. Then I get active in my regular job. Meanwhile, I'm watching the market. I'm making some trades. Yeah, so I work full time. I started at tomorrow. I've been started at 6 a.m. I got a call with God, but I typically work from 7 to 4:30 actively, with a little bit of watching the markets and trading.
Yeah.
That in the evening I make trades. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and make trades. I'm fortunate enough I don't require a lot of sleep. 5.5, 6 hours sleeping up. But
That's amazing. I wish I could be as disciplined as you when it comes to waking up at 4 a.m. But
well, you're still young. I think the older you get, yeah, you find yourself having to get up in the middle of the night to go to
absolutely.
the loo a couple of times. I'm at a little stay up, right?
Well, yeah, no,
By the way, I did
absolutely.
work in London for 2 years, so I know the lingo.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was gonna say when you
Yeah,
said go to the loo, I was like, oh, that's a very British
I
phrase.
was saying that for you.
Well, I
Yeah,
appreciate.
I worked in the city in London. Worked right
Oh,
next to
awesome.
Camden Street Station.
Oh, wow. Okay, and I'm assuming again in the finance sector.
It was in the vendor space around commodity trading risk management, right?
Yeah,
Just not that sector where I told you about earlier.
yeah. Did you like it in London or too
I
cold?
did at first. That that's one. Whatever. I enjoyed the week of summer here.
Yeah, the few days of summer we get. Yeah,
The winters are not. The dampness was. When you have really damp day and it's 2 or 3 degrees C. That's pretty chilly, bone chilly.
yeah.
But the worst part is you go to work. It's dark.
Oh,
You might
yeah,
get out of the office, grab something to eat, see a little light. Then you go back to the office, you work, and you go home. It's dark.
yeah.
So you don't get a lot of sun. But yeah. But other than that, I made some good friends. In fact, one of the good friends I made him back to England a year after I left, and it was his best man in Portsmouth on the HMS Warrior. And
Nice.
then 12 years ago, he came here, and he was one of my crews for my.
Oh, wow. That's a
Yeah.
lovely story. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
really awesome. That's really awesome to hear. Um, so how long ago was it roughly when you started going back into trading quite seriously?
Probably got very serious in trading in around 2008.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because before that, I was just plowing money into 401k, and I went through a change of employers. So I was able to roll that 401k money into an IRA. And that's when I started actively trading my IRA and hit futures and equity options.
Yeah. So you've been, I mean, theoretically, you've been trading for a very long time, which makes now perfect
Yeah,
sense in
that's the only
terms
thing
of.
I don't trade is bonds.
Right, yeah, yeah. I mean, to be fair, a lot of day traders don't.
Okay.
What is it you
Bonds are
trade
crazy.
mostly?
I
What's
don't
what's your
understand.
favorite instrument? Out of curiosity.
Uh, E-mini S&P,
Yeah.
crude, the nasty NASDAQ, natural gas. Occasionally, I'll take a bite of copper. Um, I used to trade the ags more often. I had a client that I was working with and helped develop the system for him for coffee, and I learned the coffee business and was fascinated by it. So for a couple of years, I got to trade coffee,
Wow.
but my broker no longer got or it was going to charge me a huge amount of money to keep feed
Mm.
for the coffee contracts, and I haven't traded coffee since. But I enjoyed trading coffee, and that was fascinating.
Mm.
Uh, that's on the future side, and like I said, I do trade juice. I like equities with juicy options, so
Yeah.
do poor man's covered calls, so I spread a lot of risk and not use a lot of capital
Yeah.
to put them and me in a good position to go long. Or even since I'm short, right? Poor man's covered put to you can short stuff. You can actually short equities with options in an IRA, where
Okay.
otherwise you can't short stock in, but you can
Yeah.
go short by using options.
Right.
Synthetic short. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing stuff. And how long would you say it took you before you started seeing decent enough results in your trading? Like how many years until you started kind of getting quite profitable with it?
Yeah. Probably about 3 years before I started consistently seeing good returns.
Yeah.
I did blow up one account, like everybody has to learn, right?
Sure. Sure.
Um, but I have now for many years consistently PPS.
Yeah. Yeah.
I My friend gave me took out a quarter of his retirement money out of his account that's managed by UBS, and he says, "You trade this." Well, I'm I'm beating his UBS guy
Oh wow.
consistently every year.
That's quite a flex.
So, so I had 25% and they had 75%. I now have 40%, and that's 60%. So that's and in 4 years, 4.5 years.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And fair play to your friend for trusting you. Um,
He wants to
that's a
learn it
true
too,
friend.
but he's got a family business where he's just too busy to learn.
Sure,
And
sure.
so we talk about things, and he says, "Hey, well, what about this company? This company?" I say, "Okay," and I'll look at it, and sometimes I say, "That's a good trading vehicle," and okay, we could trade around that. Or I would say, "No, dude, there's no options there, or it's thinly traded." It's sure we can buy you some shares in it, but it's not really doing that.
Yeah.
I'm almost always right. So whatever.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. And as you started learning trading, and kind of practicing it, did you follow any, I don't know, any communities, any trading mentors, take any courses, anything like that?
So I read some books on options trading that got me into it. My grandfather kind of introduced me to it a long time ago, but back then it was all Greek to me.
Mm.
And that's a joke, by the way. But I don't know if you've heard of online Tasty Trade.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there's yep. So that's when I really learned a lot. Early days of Tasty Trade. In fact, even went up there in 2012 and got to meet those guys in the old studio.
Wow.
They taught me a lot. Trade small, trade often, right?
Yep.
Uh, take your when you sell options short, you take a 50% winner and close it, right? Or if you get 25% win in one day, close it out, take and move on.
Yeah.
Uh, don't don't hold positions where the risk reward is not right. You got $5 left on an option that you're short on, and it's 14 days to go. Only really bad things can happen. Close that out. You know,
Yeah.
so things like that. Trade small, and trading often on the option side.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's awesome. Um, Clayton, I would love to get to know your strategy a little bit more. Is it possible you could share your charts and walk me through what you would look for on a typical
So
kind of day to day?
yeah, something very simple here. I use TradingView to mark charts.
Yep.
So we're going to use TradingView just to. Okay, so this is an example of uh, dollar yen,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll start. Yeah, I look at it on the days, and I'm marking off really a pattern of a trend, a major trend, right? And what we're seeing right now, what I'm seeing is a real tightening. And when you see this pattern in equities, futures, and ether, at some point, probably in here, we're going to have a major breakout up or down.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I've got these major trend lines waiting for something big to happen the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, something like that. I'll look at the 4 hours. Again, I might make a notation. I don't have any here on the 4 hours, but on the 1 hours, I am marking up swing high and swing lows.
Yep.
So I have swing high and swing lows here. Here's a few of my trades that I did make. What I'm looking for here is basically market structure shifts. And I'll start seeing them maybe in the 1 hour, and I'll drill down to the 15 or even the 5 to look for the right entry. And it's just really as simple as that. Looking for a market structure shift. I mean, you can quite clearly see one here, right?
Yeah.
We come down and made a base. It's driving back up, and I got in here a little late. I should have got in here right about here, but I got it here. And I put my stop down at that base, and I'm looking for a 1.5 to 2x move. It's pretty simple. Not always right. Got this one wrong. Got this one wrong here. But yeah, and anytime I'm really going to look at how we react to these swing high and swing lows. That's why I have alarms here on these. I've got set where I'll even buzz my phone and wake me up in the middle of the night. I want to see how the market reacts when it hits a swing higher swing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love how clean your charts are as well. There's not...
Yeah, you ought to see some of my futures charts. They're a lot nastier. Value area high, value area low.
Okay, well, yeah,
yesterday's a high. Your point of control, fibs. I'll sometimes place a fib here, but not too often. I'm trying to keep Forex really simple as I kind of learn and understand what pairs.
Yeah,
I said, I traded 2014 or 2015. Like I said, I spent blew $500 trading them. And just now in the last 5-6 weeks, I've started dabbling, and that's where I am with Forex.
Well, yeah, no, I love what I'm seeing. Like I said, really nice, clean charts. In the futures, all right, you use the volume profile, things like that. But you have access to those tools for the future, so why wouldn't you use order flow tools? But in Forex, really clean, simple. I'm assuming also, that's a 15-minute chart, so you're intraday mostly trading a few hours. Sometimes it can be a bit longer. Each trade. So
my typical trades are about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Probably on average, if I had to look.
Yeah, which is perfect.
So this one's a long one, and then it would against. Yeah, I think so too. You don't want to just try to scalp, 20 or 30 pips. You want 100 and a quarter or something like 650.
Absolutely, especially in Forex.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult market to scalp. Futures, you can, you have more data available, so you can kind of.
Yeah, I'm not typically a scalper. I'm not typically a scalper. I'm looking for kind of the same thing in futures. A market structure shift. I'm looking for it to go to the next level, in the next direction, right? Was it trading around the value area low? It's bouncing off of that. Well, where's it going to go? Well, they go back to the open or back to the overnight high or whatever the next level is. I'm looking for that move to that level. So I don't call those scalps. And I'm typically in a futures trade, probably 45 minutes.
Yeah.
From the average, 30, 40 good.
Yeah.
Looking for a strong move anyway.
Absolutely. I would love to talk a little bit about, risk management and kind of the psychology of trading. So this is definitely in your department here. How do you break down the risk side of your trades? Do you have like a set percentage for your stop loss, or do you have any other rules that kind of keep you in check?
Yeah, I try to keep the size to where my max loss might be about 1.5%. I'd like it a little smaller, but usually that market structure where I want to place my stop might go over that, but never over 2.25. Yeah. But that's really I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like for the funded Hola, y'all call it Ola or Hola?
Ola. Ola.
Hola,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, hola. I'm like, hello, it's
yeah,
Spanish. All right, that's
exactly.
what. Um, uh, so in this account, I'm trying to maintain profitability, stay within the risk parameters. Um, I'm I'm not going to take a 2.5 risk trade. I'm just not. I would in my own account, I feel more comfortable with it if the
Sure.
setup is right. But in this account, or maybe in a future account, then I'd argue you guys, no, because it's too much risk, too much of a swing towards your drawdown or the limit. Why risk?
Yeah.
There'll be another setup later.
Oh, absolutely. You have to be able to absorb, worst case scenario, you have, a losing streak. You have to kind of be able to absorb that without doing too much
Yeah.
damage. So keeping that risk nice and low is a
Yeah.
necessity, especially in prop.
Hopefully, it absorbs 5 losses in a row.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
But that's fantastic. And do you also have like any rules where, say, you take a trade in a day, and let's say it's a bad trade? Do you have any rules where kind of you're saying, all right, no more trades for today, I'll come back tomorrow, or but if the opportunity presents itself, do you still jump in?
Yeah. I have a nearly hard and fast rule: 2 trades max a day
Hmm.
in any market. And if the first trade's a loser, then just go the next day. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah,
Every once in a while, I'll break that just because if the trade setup just looks like this is a good trade. I'll break that rule. So it's not a hard and fast rule, but it's a 85 or 90%.
yeah. No,
God.
definitely. And I find any trader I've met who has a similar rule of what you just said, they always do incredibly well over the long term. Because funnily enough, that is probably the biggest thing we find that traders fail on, or generally have problems with, and it's over trading, or revenge
Getting
trading.
over FOMO, right?
Yeah,
Revenge
exactly.
trading or FOMO.
They're
Yeah.
the biggest ones, and it's never really down to the strategy. Most people have an edge of some kind in their strategy. It just never allow it to play out because they're bending the rules because of their emotions. Get the better of them. So having that kind of discipline to really stick to it, you can always tell when a trader's going to do well because they have that discipline. And the moment they are disciplined and actually follow the rules, it all just starts working trading. But I have no doubt, considering your time in the military and well, for what you do for your day job as well, you're almost a perfect trader. He's almost made for this
Yeah.
career.
I I'd like to think I was made for the career, but I just missed out on the opportunities when I was younger to get in the right shop. Right, a lot of the opportunities to be a trader, at least back in the day, it wasn't what you knew it was going to do. Right,
Yeah, yeah,
and the opportunity of so many young people today to hone their skills with these prop firms, and they go in and find a way, kick in the door to get an interview.
yeah.
Uh, there's so much opportunity. And I'm jealous, but now I'm a bit of a geezer now, so I just got to do it on my own. Kick down my own door.
No, you're absolutely right. Like today, we are so lucky. I remember when I first got into trading, I was 19 and I worked for a prop firm in London. And, this is before online prop firms were even a thing. And the way it was back then was you literally had to do almost like an internship. Clients had to pay for, training, and then they'll do 6 months in a simulated environment. And then they finally, after they hit their targets, they might, they'll get some kind of capital, but a small amount, and then build up. And now, so people were willing to put a year, 2 years of time, effort, and money into, becoming a trader up front. And now we have, prop firms like Ola Prime, where realistically speaking, if you're just show a little bit of discipline, you can be funded and getting payouts within a month. So we live in a great time for traders and to get into the industry. It's never been easier in that
Yeah, I
respect.
really wish I'd have known about these prop firms years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
about 5, 6 years ago when we really started taking. I had no idea until about this spring, early spring.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just found out. I started doing the future side too. Just like, if I can take these guys for some money.
No, absolutely. Go for the futures. I mean, it sounds like, I mean, I'm personally a futures trader as myself. So, I'm
Okay.
all about the futures.
Oh,
But
that's,
yeah, no, it sounds like, that is where your heart is. That is where you started. That's kind of,
it really is. I really want to retire. Just
yeah,
not have to do my day job too, because it make things so much easier. I could journal better my trades, and which would make my trading even better. I probably journal maybe less than a tenth of my trades. I simply don't.
yeah, yeah.
I'm also a husband and stepfather. But our oldest daughter just got married the weekend before last.
Oh,
We have season
congratulations.
tickets to University of Oklahoma football. We travel all the time for football games. Of course, I have friends. I literally have no time. I
Yeah,
just work, trade, and social commitments. That's it.
yeah.
So I wish I had more time to journal.
Well,
It's all I can do to keep up with all my accounting, my personal accounting.
absolutely. But like you said, the hope is that one day you'll turn it, you'll retire, and obviously, turn it into your I wouldn't say full-time career because hopefully, when you're retired, you want to kind of relax as well. At the same time, you don't want to go straight back
Yeah.
into.
Well, fingers crossed. Things are going pretty well these last 6 months, 5, 6 months. That fingers crossed. I think I'll maybe be able to jump off the plate, so to speak, and hit 18 months, maybe at
Absolutely.
the end of 2027.
I have no
Yep.
doubt you'll do it. I mean, you show all the classic signs of a consistent long-term trader. So
At,
I have no doubt you'll do very well. As long as you keep doing what you're doing, essentially. Don't change the recipe. But you already know that. So yeah, keep at it. What's the future for you in terms of trading? Are you looking to get more prop accounts, build up the capital?
well, yeah. On the forex side is simply to hone my skills in forex with lowering my risk. Right. On the I send it down like $5,000-6,000. I would use that on the forex side to try to learn forex better and get good at that. On the future side, I'm doing pretty well there, and the idea is to build a capital fund where I can then also start trading with son-in-law, set him up to trade on that, and to what future so
Amazing. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
have a little small family uh, capital trading company basically.
Definitely. Yeah, get
That's
the whole family
which
involved. And,
yeah
there's no better gift you could give to someone, a young adult than teach them how to trade and kind of set them up with that skill because especially with the world how the world's moving, with things like AI, who knows what jobs will
yeah
be
how
available in
many
the
jobs are going
future.
to be there.
Exactly.
That's right.
And
That's right.
at least with trading, okay, AI is going to obviously have a place in trading, and I mean, even today, most trades taken are by some kind of AI or algorithm,
Algorithmic
but
needed.
it can't prevent you from logging in and taking a trade. So, in a weird way, you're kind of trading is one of the only sectors I would say that's kind of untouched by it. So,
You know, I
you know,
I agree. I agree. Learning how to make money with money is an
yeah,
important skill. Learning how to save money, learning the value of money. I mean, my wife's teaching my girls the value of money and how to spend rates. So, uh,
uh,
yeah. So,
absolutely,
like, yeah, I've been incentivizing them. Like, you earn a paycheck. I know you don't think you make a lot, but if you put this money away, I'll match that money you put in a Roth IRA, and then I'll help you trade it. And the next day, I mean, you could retire at 50 because you're putting away money in your 20s.
yeah, oh
You
yeah,
know,
no,
being a dad
absolutely.
right now.
I say stuff like that should be taught in school personally. At very least, some kind of financial literacy should be taught at an early age. Because
Yeah, yeah,
you have people, the moment they hit 18 and they get themselves into ridiculous debt with credit cards and they don't understand how interest rates essentially just compound and you'll be in debt for life. And and it's sad. It could be all very easily avoided, and with a bit of
Well, I did that. I did that class myself with the kids. Each
yeah,
of them separately got them a basic credit card. And he said, "All right, here's the credit card. This is how you use a credit card.
yeah.
Don't ever not pay the balance on. This builds your credit over time." And so far, so good. They've never paid interest. Yes.
Well, that's very good to hear.
But
You've been a good teacher
yeah,
then.
yeah. I'm about ready to get my name off the liability of because they're joint accounts right now.
Of course. Clayton, before we go, I would love to talk a little bit about Hola Prime and your experience with us so far. So obviously, you are funded with us. You have had a payout, and how's your experience been overall?
So I had a little bit of a misstep in that I didn't realize when I did the KYC process, I messed up probably that I should have put in company. I have an LLC. Are you familiar with kind of the U.S. tax laws a little bit? So we can form an LLC with what's called an S corp option, and it's highly advantageous for a trading business.
Sure.
And I only put in my personal, and so we had to go back and forth for a little while. But as far as the speed and response on the payment, I was really surprised that they were ready to pay. It looked like, oh no, we have an issue here. You put in your company's bank, and they hit. So I had a little bit of rigmarole, but in the end, it's fine. But yeah, it's under the 1 hour response, and we're going to send you the money. Wow, that's fast. Because in some of those futures prop firms, it takes days.
Yeah. This is the thing, isn't it? I mean,
there's a notorious one of the big guys. We'll just leave him on name.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest guy. They are a real pain in the tuchus.
Well, we're glad that you like the speed of our payments and payouts, because I always say, a company can take your money instantly, so why can't we give the money back, at a similar speed? It never makes sense, right? So
can I ask a question? Can the interviewer ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ask away. So I think everybody basically knows how funded a prop firm works, but at what point do you guys say, okay, well, this is a good trader. We may not ready to fund them with our own capital. There's still some funding. Maybe we want to copy trade.
Yeah.
Do you do that to help hedge your risk?
Absolutely.
And at what point do you do that?
There's no, hard rule as in, once you hit a certain amount of trades or certain amount of payouts, all of a sudden, we start copy trading. It really comes down to how predictable you as a trader are. So once we have enough data, we basically analyze that data. I mean, I don't personally do it, but the team do. And we find people who are the most kind of consistent in terms, there's not huge fluctuations, someone who hasn't had ridiculous, ups and downs, and is kind of very predictable. And also, just, there's so many factors, from the timing of their trades, what times they're trading, asset class, all this kind of stuff all plays into role. And and we selectively then copy the ones we feel have the highest probability, and are the safest, basically. A good balance between
your risk team.
Yeah, it's pure.
Your risk team would be fascinating to sit down with and have some beers with, because those are my favorite people of my clients. These big commodity trading firms. Those are the people I always like to get friendly with and go out to the pubs with and talk to, because their analytical minds kind of match mine. Yeah, and I love talking to those people. So that's why that question came. I was more interested in that than just how does a prop firm work. What was some of the factors?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
basically what I thought. You said what I thought, basically.
Yeah.
We had some.
I would love to know
the proprietary way to figure
myself,
it out.
But stuff like that goes a bit over my head. Although I'm a trader, I don't think I could do that job because I'll be looking at all the stats and be like, yeah, this looks fine. But then some, they see it in a different way because, at the end of the day, they're all about risk. They're not looking at the technicals.
Yeah, no. Mid-office guys are the most risk averse.
Yeah,
They're the firm's cap,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do a great job. So, hats off to them. They're doing very well. And they've been very good at protecting the capital so far. So, but
Good.
yeah. So, Clayton, that's pretty much all the questions I have. It's been an absolute pleasure talking
All right.
with you today. And thank you so much for coming on, taking the time
And
out.
you as well, Sam.
Sharing your story. It's been fascinating, your strategy as well. Really, really good stuff. And yeah, hopefully, at some point in the future as well, we can connect again and have a little update, see how you're getting along. That would be absolutely fantastic.
Well, I'm going to be over there next summer, so maybe we'll have a pub somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Have a pint somewhere at a pub.
Absolutely. I'll never turn down a beer. So.
Sounds good. I don't either, unfortunately. That's a problem.
Well, Clayton, thank you again so much and for coming on, and have a great rest of
All
your
right.
day as
Thanks,
well.
Sam.
Take care.
All right. Cheers.
All the viewers, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on channel notifications, do all that good stuff. Join our Discord, and also make sure you tune in to Hola Prime TV every Monday to Friday, every trading day, where myself and all of our great trading coaches break down the live charts and take live trades. So it's well worth tuning in. But apart from that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care.
Hola Prime. Trade with transparency.